What?
Matching your energy.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny.
I'm gonna install the light when we're done streaming.
Oh my gosh, as you should. As you
And then
should.
after that, I'm gonna get starting on editing this. Alright, the announcement is set.
Alright, cool. I also have to send my brother the thing as well. If not, he's gonna be like, why didn't you stream? What the flips?
The flips.
Yeah, and I'm be like, I did stream. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to figure it out how you do it. My brother. What's up, brother?
Which do be happening.
Okay, I believe I just sent it to my brother already. Hee hee ha ha. Does this sound good in the stream or no?
One second, let me deafen real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Stay stuff.
Test. Does this sound great? Does it sound awesome sauce? Does it sound saucy wassy?
Yes, it does.
Saucy wassy! Saucy wassy!
Pee real quick before we start this.
Huh?
Right back. I have to go pee real quick.
Okay. In the meantime, we be chillin'. Big chillin'. Chillin' in the back. Chillin' in the back. Dun 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 dun. We will start stream soon. I'm just waiting for Thomas to come back, and then we'll be starting shortly. I hope everyone's having a good evening. It's already like 8, and I can't believe it's already 8. Originally we were supposed to stream at 7, but we had to push it back because we're finishing up our episode 2 and all that. And now it's awesome sauce. We're gonna be awesome saucing. We're awesome saucing right now. Awesome saucing. I'm actually pretty excited to talk about today's episode. I'm not gonna lie. Today's episode, we have lots of tea that I can finally talk about, and I've been dying to talk about this. Good tea. Oh, you're back?
Yep.
Alright, let me just turn you up on my side on Discord for you. Just remember how to be close to the mic.
Yep.
Okay, you ready to start?
Yep.
Okay, we are loading. Funny loading sign. Funny
Also,
loading. Huh?
This weekend I'm gonna be getting that mic, so this won't be an issue.
Oh, okay, that's totally funny. It's totally fine. Hello, awesome saucers. Sorry.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dear Diary podcast. On episode 2, our subject of conversation is toxic work, which a lot is in my stories, a lot about toxic work, and I cannot wait to finally expose some stuff. Like, I cannot wait. I've been holding this in. There's like so many stories, but there is one story for sure I am ready to talk about, but I won't talk about it until towards the end of our Yap City session. I feel like that's appropriate to talk about it during that period of time. So I don't know about Thomas. By the way, our lovely co-host Thomas.
Hello, everyone.
I don't know if Thomas is gonna share any tea or anything toxic work, which honestly he does have any, but I don't know if he's comfortable to share anything. So definitely I'm gonna spill some tea. So I'm ready to spill some tea. I cannot wait. I can finally talk about it. I've just been waiting for this moment. But of course, that's gonna be for later. Right now, we are gonna finally start in our segment of judgment pending. Eee! Okay, so we're gonna start our segment first, going in hot and heavy, because there is 5 stories that we have, but I'm not for sure if I'm gonna say all 5 stories, and maybe we'll keep some for later. But oh my gosh, let's get right to it. You ready? Okay. Also, wait, hold on. Back up. I literally have a new PNG. I have glasses now. My cow finally has glasses. I forgot to say that. I blame Thomas for this because he really was like, "Hey, you know what you should add for your cow?" And I was like, "What, Thomas? You should add glasses." And I'm like, "You know what? You're so right." And I felt so bad. I had to reach out again to the artist that made this and tell him, "Hey, LOL, I'm so sorry, LOL. But can you like remake this and add like glasses?" And they were very kind, and I recommend this artist. I put it down in the description of this artist and a bunch of other artists that I definitely, if you are starting to stream, definitely reach out to them. They're very lovely people. I recommend. Everyone was super helpful, but that's how basically this artist made how I am today, and I'm really excited. And obviously Thomas looks very cute with his like monkey theme, so I'm like, iconic, cute, love it. So
your
sorry.
prescriptions came in.
Yeah, my prescriptions came in.
You can see now.
I can finally see. Before I wasn't able to, but now I can. So I'm really excited. Like, oh, I can see. Anyway, let's go ahead and start our segment now. Sorry. We'll go starting with a judgment pending. Let's see. I don't know if I should talk about this one, but I actually do want to talk about this one. Hold on, I'm trying to decide. I know I read them earlier, but I couldn't really decide because I thought they were all great. I guess I can talk about the first one. Alright, so this Reddit story, it says, "I love my career, but the work environment is just so toxic." So they're saying is, "I am an animal control officer, so there's my thing. There's not many other shelters around. My team lead have talked bad about me to the surrounding shelters. The only one where I want to go to has no opening positions. but the manager used to work at our shelter and she left our shelter because it was just so toxic. She understands how it is and she doesn't believe anything they have said about me. So basically, I am stuck. I have two team leads that just hate me. They get me in trouble for every little thing. They the same stuff I get in trouble for, someone else does it. They just tell them, "Hey, I fixed it," or "You did this wrong." They don't run to the manager about what other people do. I have literally this is crazy. I literally had to get a medical note stating I yawn when I get nervous, and it doesn't happen often, but my manager was going to write me up for it if I didn't get a medical excuse. The only team lead who really hates me got me 2 write ups and 6 written counseling, which honestly, I didn't think that was a thing. I was getting pulled into the office every week for something I did wrong. Last Friday, my manager thought I was mad at her and was being disrespectful. So I went and apologized for her for feeling like that. I was mad at her. And she told me if you didn't apologize, I was going to write you up for insubordination on Monday. I want to know how I can deal with this being in this toxic work environment because I don't want to lose my job. I'm gonna be honest. Just quit. Just quit. Or if you're, like you said, you don't want to lose your job, I would just start applying in different areas ASAP. I would literally start applying different places because there's no way that you can continue working in a place like this. There's just no way. It's just not healthy at all. And it's just best to like start applying somewhere else when you finally have like an interview or like finally have a different position somewhere else. Leave this job, and I know it's not ideal that where you want to go at that time, but you can wait until there's another opening at the shelter and go there, since you already know that the other manager knows you. And then you can be like besties with her kind of thing, be like, "Hey bestie, let me know when it's available so I can like join." Definitely, I think they'll hook it up. So that's just my advice about that. I would quickly try to find a job, or I would just leave, to be honest. I wouldn't be, I don't know, I don't know. I think people just don't maybe have the confidence to just leave or just like do that big change in life. But honestly, you'll find something better, or you'll find something in the meantime to get something better in the future. That's my 2 cents on that. Thomas?
Me, it just sounds so like it's unfortunate, really, that like
You sound really low. I can't hear you. Oh,
it's
that's
really
better.
unfortunate that most of her team leads, were talking bad about it, and you know, having that like sense of like I'm lower than them, so I can't really do anything or I'll lose my job. I had a similar feeling at my last job,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what made me leave as well. So I resonate with this story a lot of like I'm getting treated like absolute just horribly, but I can't do anything since they're higher than me. They can say whatever they want and it's my word against theirs and their word's going to win.
Right.
Um it would go um the same way with if you just started.
Mm-hmm.
That culture of like, oh, he's new, we can do whatever to him or whatever to them. It's like it's unfortunate, but in most cases people just turn a blind eye to it.
Right. Let me see. Well, overall, it's just like you said. I think it's just best just to leave. I know it sounds so simple, but you have to get the confidence to leave. You cannot accept anything less. If you think that's okay and somebody's like treating you that way, you can just continue the cycle. You know what I mean? You can just continue going that cycle. But if you really want to put a stop into it and you want to do something about it, definitely you have to get the courage to leave and don't feel bad. They don't feel bad. They will replace you ASAP. I'll be honest. That's just how corporate life is, or like how jobs are. You just feel replaceable, and that's something that you need to understand. You are going to be replaceable, and somebody else is going to do the job instead. So, to me, I'm like, screw it, just leave and find something better. I'd rather just start over. That's just me. Okay. Let's see. So there's another story. It says, I have such bad anxiety from this environment the VIP created. Vice president. I don't know why I said VIP. I just need to vent, I guess. I need to work on my resume, and I started to. But there's so much that I do as a HR assistant, and so much of my confidence my vice president has chipped at that I feel so overwhelmed looking at it yet. How do I get a grip of myself and overcome this anxiety? Every day there's some kind of mess and I just can't no more. I need to get out for my health's sake. I need a little encouragement because I started to downplay the importance of my role and it's oh my god, I can't English. Contributes. And I want to give myself the opportunity I deserve. Why does it feel so bad when these higher power assholes treat you like this? Honestly, like I said before, big companies will always cut you. So just, you can't really take shit, honestly. And I don't know, there's like some situations, some shit, there's some that you have to bite your tongue, you know? But most of the time, honestly, this is something I always live by. This is crazy. I don't know, maybe you can say something about it, Thomas, but for me, I don't give it my all at work. I really don't. I'm paid at that minimum or whatever, that kind of situation. Until it's a different project or something else, then I will provide more, but then I will come back at zero again. Because, what's the whole point trying to give it your all in like a work that's like kind of shitty? That's just me. That's a cheap trick. Because to me, I feel like if you put yourself at 100% all the time and you somehow start like slipping and they see that and they talk about it, it's just best kind of like start as shitty and still kind of stay there until there's like important projects, maybe you boost it up a bit. That's just me. That's just my cheap trick. That's what I do. I don't know about Thomas. If he's ever been in a situation like that.
For me, I've never been in a situation like that, but I do understand like the feeling of being like replaceable. And like what you do, and if you go above and beyond, won't really be seen as much.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I normally do.
Right.
But it is kind of like a person can only take so much,
Right. I'm gonna read one more story, and I thought it was a pretty good one. It says, if you work in a toxic environment and plan to quit, here's what I did. A completely toxic environment, management was on booger sugar, which doesn't really matter to me, but it did once they started to take money out of people's paychecks. I decided about a year ago that I was going to leave. I made myself invaluable. I did computer work that they couldn't do. I changed programs and improved them and made myself invaluable. On a random day of my choosing, I decided to quit because I already had another job offer. Equipment set up at the house, everything done and ready to go. I waited until I knew that they would be working extra hard and looking for me for the next 2 weeks. I walked out with all my stuffs and sent an email saying that I quit and why. That is all. I only emailed HR. I did nothing more and nobody knew what was going on. I logged myself out of all company equipment and deleted any of my personal stuff off of the computer. The computer was completely reset to factory settings. I knew they need me. They would expect me because I was the only one who can do what they needed to be done. And I left and blocked all their numbers ahead of time. That is what I did, and I would do it 10 times over in a heartbeat. That's toxic fighting with toxicity.
Fire. That's some petty. This man's petty. I can.
This
Love it.
guy
Love to see it.
is so petty. And you know what?
Love it.
It's classy pettiness. And I give this man or whoever they are the most genius work of art. I would definitely do that. And I actually did something similar like that. Little short story. One of my jobs is I was working at a casino, and basically I was everything at this casino. And basically I helped a lot with IT, customer service. I was like translating. I was just like helping with marketing. It was crazy of how much resourceful I was and how much I was like helping in each department. And the thing is, they didn't want to pay me more, or they were just like, it was just sketchy overall kind of thing, I want to say. And I just got fed up with it, and I just decided just to leave because I was just like, you know what? I do so much that like I'm not getting anything back at all. Like I try to like fill out a document of like at least maybe get $2 more or something like that for speaking Spanish, because they wanted me to use my Spanish, but they didn't want to pay me for being bilingual. So it was just like me speaky Spanish beat, you know? So literally I was doing that because like the bare minimum, right? But yeah, it was just like a back and forth of lot. They didn't want to give me a raise, and it just sucks because I don't know if this is how it is now, but if when you work on the res, it's their own government, right? So their minimum wage or like money kind of thing is way different than like how it is federal, right? So to even ask for like a raise, I'll be lucky if I even get like a nickel, right? Like 5 cents or even a dime. And that's how it was. And I was hoping for like maybe $2 or something like that, but they didn't even want to do that. Just like a lot of things they didn't want to do, and just like keep abusing you and whatever, use you up kind of thing. So I just got fed up with it and just found a different job, and just like one day just left when it was like busy, basically. I didn't give a fuck, and that was it. And Thomas is just there like, what?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah, I think you never knew that about that story, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Never really got the chance to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we can start switching to the different segment, We can do. Would you want to do true crime first, or would you want to do conspiracy?
Mm, I feel like I should do my segment first.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and start going to the other segment of Whisper Files, um, into true crime. So Thomas, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and tickety tock, tickety tock.
Alrighty. Let me see one thing to see if this may sound a little bit better.
Oh, and also hello everyone from the stream. Hello, hello. Sorry, we're also trying to like get the ball rolling. But go ahead, Thomas, whenever.
Yep, 1 second. Let me just. Can you hear me a little bit better?
What? Sounds like you're under the water. You're perfectly fine before. What happened?
Oh, I was just saying something was a little bit different. Okay. So. Alright, so this
Oh wait, wait, wait,
is.
wait, wait, wait. I need to put spooky.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Thanks for letting me know before I started.
Spooky. Okay, go ahead. It's ready.
Alrighty. This is a little less of the bloodshed variety of this true crime, but it is still a crime. This is the crime of the Loomis Fargo robbery, and this happened in 1997. So, let me set the stage. A man by the name of David Gant, if I'm saying that correctly, he was not happy with his life. He was working as a bank vault supervisor, he was working at minimum wage. He was working 75, 80 hours a week at $8.15 an hour, which is diabolical for a supervisor to be making that much, but neither here nor there, right? And, he didn't even have a home life because he was never there. He was working so much and he just felt unhappy. So while in the break rooms of, while he's on break, he was joking about robbing this joint of everybody has that thought of man, I would love it if this place burned down or something like that. Everybody has that thought at least once while they're working, or something bad happening to the job so you don't have to go back, right? So he started joking around with another fellow employee by the name of Kelly Campbell. They struck up a friendship, and that would continue after Kelly left the company. They took it more serious as they were joking. They were like, robbing a bank. Do you wanna? And it just started to become more and more serious. Like, do you actually want to do this? Kelly introduced David to an old classmate of hers named Steve Chambers. And the three of them would, plot and plan to steal a massive amount of money from this bank. The problem is that they did it like idiots, and I'm gonna tell you how now. Over the next months, they devised a plan. Him, David, the one working in the bank, since he has the access to the vaults, he would just, go into the vault and steal the money, easy peasy. And then he would flee to Mexico, take as much money as he can, because it's $50,000 you can have on your possession before you get questioned by the Mexican authorities, which is something that I found out that was really interesting. And then the rest of the money would go to David, and David and David's wife would help wire the money to everyone else. That was the plan. So on October 4th, October of 1997, Their plan went the thing. Before the day of, David sent one of a new employee home that was supposed to be training with him. Sent him home. He was just like, "Man, you're doing such a great job. Go home." He thought it was his best day ever. He went home. That's when he devised his plan. He quickly went into the vault and loaded $17 million worth of $20 bills in the back of a company van and just drove off. Met up with David and then met up with Steve. David took $50,000 and fled to Mexico. Right? All good, all nice, right? The problem was, it seems so great. It seems such a wonderful time. Everything was on camera. His whole heist of him putting the money into the truck for a whole hour of footage of him putting the money in the truck. And then, surprisingly, next day comes in, they're finding out, all this money's been stolen. They do roll call of all the employees that are supposed to be working. You know who's not? Who was scheduled but didn't show up that day?
Oh.
David. Poor David. And the thing is, yeah, so that they had prime suspect number 1, David. I don't know what David was thinking. He was probably high while doing this, because how do you choke that badly? you got caught in high resolution robbing a bank.
No.
Like how? Like it's like I think you would
In
have a better
4K?
chance. You would have a better chance of posting that on IG Reels than what happened, right?
Hey guys, this is my tutorial. How to steal funny
How to
bank.
rob a bank.
Yep, funny bank.
Yeah, he would probably get more money out of that than what he got here.
No.
Okay, so continuing the dumpster fire here.
Oh, yikes.
But, yeah, he was the only unaccounted employee the morning after the heist. It's okay. 2 days after the heist, the FBI already found the van with about $3 million in cash left. The funny thing is they would have taken more, but they, underestimated how heavy money is.
Oh my.
Money is heavy. I think like every 50K or so is like,
Right.
I think like 50 or 75 pounds. It's a lot, and it's not like, oh yeah, these are in $100 bills. These are in 20s. You know how many 20s that is? I'm not doing the math, but I'm not doing the math.
I thought you were gonna be like, I'm doing the math, and you're gonna tell me. I was like, wow, that's a lot.
You know what? 20.
You might as well just add it.
My bad, I'm bad at math.
Sorry guys, we're doing a little math really quick.
Math lesson.
Math lesson. What'd you say? How many 20s were in 50 pounds?
50,000. In 50,000. Let's say, okay.
Oh
they took
my.
17 million.
Oh my god. Editor, they would post it right here. And then us. Yep, that's how much it was.
That's how much it was. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I hate math. Okay, there we go. 850,000 bills of money.
Oh.
It's heavy. So, they don't. I'm just gonna continue, everyone.
Right.
Oh,
Mhm.
they weak as shit. They couldn't take the money. All right. Oh,
Mhm.
they weak. So they take as much as they can, and because another thing is that those blocks of money take a lot of space. Unfortunately, they brought a hatchback which can't fit a lot of space. So that's how much they were willing. They held in their cars.
Oh my
Um, you know, they quickly connected.
god. Uh-huh.
They quickly connected him to the crime because one, he's on footage, and two, he's the only one that didn't show up. But Kelly, it took a little bit of time because he they knew he couldn't do it alone.
Right.
So they were looking around. Well, they didn't have to wait long
Oh wow.
because anonymous tips um tapped their phone lines. So
This is not
they
real.
had him and Kelly on the phone discussing how to get more money, because
Right.
Kelly also got some money, but you know what Kelly and Steve did? They all agreed to, let's lay low, let's lay low with our money. Oh yeah, let's lay low with this low-rise mansion that I bought for my husband. Um uh Jokes aside, they spent a lot of their money. They were flaunting it like crazy. They were not low key. Because the thing is that what they were originally going to do is that Steve and his wife were going to slowly launder the money over the course of a few months,
Mhm.
like let's say one
Okay.
to 2 years, so that it would
Uh-huh.
be untraceable and everybody would have the money, everybody would be happy. But David the dipshit decided to post a YOLO on the CCTV. All right,
Up the
but
YOLO.
you know, uh, but I digress. So Steve, they bought a house, a
Uh-huh.
bunch of cars, furnishings, like everything in cash,
Right.
and then they would make frequent like trips for deposits. This is like textbook. This money wasn't yours, right? Um,
Mhm.
so the FBI is already tapping into their phone lines. They already know everything that's going on between these three people talking about them.
Thomas, you're like sounding like a robot right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, one second. One second. One second.
I was like, whoa, he's really in character.
uh,
Hmm. Were you downloading something in the background?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I think you
Okay.
sound normal now.
Am I good?
Yeah. So what were you saying?
Okay. So they were already tapping into the phone lines. They knew who they were, who the cohorts were, everything,
Mm.
right? You know,
Right.
um, Steve, uh, uh,
Thomas's cosplaying.
uh, Steve and the friend, so Steve and Kelly, the FBI listened in and they were trying to kill David to keep all the money for themselves, The
Right.
person who actually stole that money, they were going to kill him, take all that money for themselves because, the thing is that Steve already had all the money because he was the one that was trying to launder it all. He spent most of his money while, Kelly and David trying to ask for money. Because, like, oh, yeah, I ran out of money. Give me more money.
Mm-hmm.
On March 1st of that following year, so, it didn't take long for them to get arrested. The Mexican police arrested him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, the others were arrested in Charlotte. Uh, you know, the
Uh-huh.
group was indicted for money laundering, bank theft, bank larceny, all those things.
All right.
Um, And the same thing, like their friends, their family were also charged with money laundering because they knew it, they knew what happened, they knew where the money was coming from and didn't say anything. So they got charged too for helping them
Oh
deposit the money
wow.
illegally. Because another thing they would do, they would just give it to friends and family, like, oh, here's 50K, deposit that real quick. Something like that.
Oh dang. You know, 50K,
Um,
50K, 50K is
I
50K.
know the exact. So they recovered about 15 million of the 17.3 million dollars that was in that truck.
Right.
Most of the cash was just, hidden in bins and storage containers and everything like that because you can't move that much money in less than a year. So, sentencing. How much did these dumbasses get, right?
Okay.
David, the inside man, the man, got 7 years and 11 months.
Oh. Okay.
Federal.
Oh.
Federal prison.
Okay.
Steve, the man who was money laundering, the man that convinced David to do this, the man who, started this all, got 11 years.
Hmm. Okay.
Kelly and Kelly's husband both got about 6 years. And then all their friends and family, the ones that got convicted, got about 1 to 3 years, depending on how much they were in the involvement. So, moral of the story, if you're gonna rob a bank, make sure you at least cover the camera. Another thing that they could have done is that, he could have driven the money out,
Right.
gave it to whoever, and then still showed up for work. Because, I don't know about you, but I would be pretty skeptical about, oh man, the only person that's allowed to open the vault is gone. And all of the money in the vault is gone.
Right.
Who could have done it? It's clear as day, right? I was reading this and researching this, and I could not stop laughing at how dumb they were. And when they all got caught, they were all blaming each other. They were pointing fingers and being like,
Classic.
he did it! Like, the classic cliche. And the reason, like, the thing is that it was so cliche and so out of this world. I'm 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 laughing at it. I'm literally looking at a picture of this man face in the camera just stealing all this money. There was a movie.
There's a
Uh
movie?
there's a movie based on this. Have you watched the
Oh.
movie Masterminds?
No, I have not.
It is a great movie. But this is
Is that the
this right
movie?
here. That is the movie that this
Is
story
based
is
on?
based on.
Oh my. Well,
And guess who attended the premiere of this movie?
stop.
David himself.
Yo! Yo, give it up to David. He showed up. Wow.
Yeah,
On
because
point.
the movie came out in
Whoa.
2016. He would have been out by then. So yeah, that's really funny that he attended the movie.
Yo, did he go in for free? Oh my gosh.
Honestly,
Is he the big star? That'd be crazy.
that would be so funny.
Yo,
But yeah,
did he even get
that
money out of this? Who knows, honestly.
no, mm-mm.
That's even funnier. He didn't. Oh my
Mhm.
god. That's so
Yeah. So that is the story of one of the dumbest bank heists I have ever read in my life, and because of how dumb it was, it got inspired by a movie that the mastermind himself attended.
Yo, honestly, I would have just handed him $20, be like, thank you for coming.
That's crazy. Like I was waiting on the last bit. I knew you would get a kick out of that.
That was so good though. Well, thank you for sharing, Thomas.
Of course.
That is crazy. I did not know that was like a movie as well. Well, later we definitely need to watch the movie. We definitely need to start cracking up about it.
It is hilarious.
All right. Okay, continuing on with Whisper Files, we'll go ahead and dabble in conspiracy theory. And we do actually have like a crazy theory that like at first we didn't think we had a theory for this um segment at all for conspiracy, but I actually found like dabbled into it that was just like actually this is actually pretty crazy and a lot of people are not really talking about it, or maybe they are talking about it but it's like kind of like old news and like my bad I wasn't part of the train. But um basically, if Thomas wants to go ahead and start it off, because I do have my 2 cents about it as well, but if you want to go ahead and start off with like the whole subject and everything.
Yes, I can. All right,
Please and
everyone.
thank you.
Our topic for today is going to be all about big tobacco and, the shady things that they may or not be, accused of doing. It's broad as day. They have done it. So, um, a lot of people may or may not know that, cigarettes, when they first got introduced, were, labeled as, like a medicine. Because back then, drug, no matter how bad or good it was always, drug was a good term back then. So, they labeled it as a drug, and, it could, they were like, oh, if you have a cough, it could cure it. If you have, headaches, and a lot of things, like a lot of ads were like, oh, you can use this as a weight loss supplement. You could use this as a whole different things. And they took old time celebrities of like, singers, old actors, stuff like that in the 1900s, all the way up to like the 1950s, 60s, stuff like that. But, you know, we now know that, cigarettes are, have loads of health risks, cancer, heart disease, the whole works. They're bad. Everybody knows that now. But early on, everybody just, that was the fad. That was the thing that everybody's doing. It was just like, man, cigarettes, tobacco, stuff like that, Um, like looking at the old posters and stuff like that, the old ads, they're crazy, insane. But that's just how they ran. But that was because of what Big Tobacco was doing, like um they one funded fake research, and so like, they would give money to scientists, like, oh, hey, research my thing, but like here's an extra 50 bomb if
You know what I mean.
say good things about it, you know what I mean,
You know, winky
and
winky.
they had deep pockets because of this whole time of like, of like absolutely running everyone's pockets. Everybody's buying, everybody's smoking, right? They have such deep pockets. They can give somebody a lifetime's worth of money back then just to say nothing, and they would have so much money, so much more money over. They would make it in a day, even. That's how big they were. So it was not uncommon for them to pay off, legislation, pay off health advocates, doctors, scientists, and stuff like that. But, over time, like in the middle of the 19th century, it, you know, documents started coming out, a couple of whistleblowers and stuff like that, somebody that was not going to get held down by the money that they were throwing at them, and weren't afraid of the lawsuits and the threats that Big Tobacco was throwing at them. They revealed, and it was, trickling out. But even with the little bit of, resistance, they were still able to like manipulate the people into being like, cigarettes, they're safe and they're even healthy, you know? Like, you got that ache in your body? Have a cigarette. Even kids could have them. Uh,
Yo, that's crazy. That's
uh,
crazy.
yeah, you can. I saw an
Here,
ad one
son.
time,
Here you go.
an old ad one time of like a mother giving a lit cigarette to her newborn baby. Like an ad from like the 1900s.
Oh my god, wait. Thomas, if you're editing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Insert here. Insert here. The ad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
I will try to find it again, but I know that like that ad because it was insane. Of like, are the ads of just like, you know, yeah, kids smoking is rad. Like
No.
it's insane.
They would do anything.
Like anything, like they were just targeting to the youth, you know, they were targeting to the kids because that was, you know, they were trying to, you know, like, oh, we have all these old people, but like we know they're all gonna die from smoking too much, so we need to get these kids on it, so we'll have a generation of wealth, right?
Right.
So that's why they did it. But like, you know, same thing with like, you know, everything was like accepted, even smoking indoors was accepted, you know.
I
Like
mean, it's still happening till this day,
it's still
though.
happening.
But only what I notice, the places that you actually can smoke indoors is casinos. That's like literally the only places that you can like smoke indoors. I don't know if there's any other places. If there is, insert now. Insert now. Here, 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 and here. But if not, well, only casino here. But honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm happy that it's not even indoors. Like, man, dude, I just want to enjoy my sandwich here or something like that at a restaurant and not worry about like people's like airbornes and all that. Like, man, I just ate some tobacco. I don't know why I said it like that. Tobacco. Like,
Tobacco.
I said that really.
What's the
That's
word, man?
tobacco. No, for real. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, anyway, you get what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'd be like pretty grossed out, you know? I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I know okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like during the time that, I want to say when COVID happened, right? And there were barely like the whole shutting down and all that stuff, like lockdown, and everyone was coming back and all that. Casinos were still, how do I say this? They were still kind of iffy in Arizona in general. I don't know how it is in other places that have casinos, but in Arizona, basically, it was like there were certain casinos for sure they did not want to do cigarettes anymore or like cigars or whatever. They just did not want to do that anymore. So they decided that their casino was going to be cigarette free. And then there was still some other casinos, I can't really name them, but basically they're still doing like you can still smoke and all that. And I don't know if it's now the casino that I was working at, if it's like updated or if they're still going as that that's kind of weird promotion of like non-smoking, like, or like smoke free kind of thing. But it was actually booming. Like, a lot of people were actually coming to casinos. Like, it was just like, it felt like Black Friday, right? You know how it used to be Black Friday and all that, and it's not like that anymore. How there was like a lot of people and lines and all that. That's how it was in the casinos, because it was smoke free, and the other places weren't. So the casino that I was working at was just smoke free, and there was just like lots of like people there, and I was just like, wow, people really don't like it when it's smoky. Okay. Or maybe they're just looking at funny colors and just gambling. I don't know. But continuing on to the segment about it, this is another crazy thing. I don't know if you guys remember this, But I really remember around like in the 2000s, right? Early 2000s. I remember that there was like, I don't know, American Legacy Foundation, that they wanted to say the truth about like smoking, right? These people, I remember these people would come to my school, and they would basically scare the shit out of kids. Like, I kid you not, they did not like sugarcoat it at all. Like, I still have trauma. If I really can find it, I can show you guys the pictures of what they would show us. And I remember as a kid, like, I don't know, I was in elementary school, right? So I don't know, this was like maybe 2003 or no, 2004. I do really remember this a lot, that there was like these vivid pictures of like, don't smoke. If you smoke, your lungs are gonna look like this. And it was just all charcoal. It looked like just black paint was just splashed in there. But it was actually like like rocks and everything like that. And it's crazy how like tobacco it makes your lungs and all that. So it just really showed like videos of like surgeons. I remember, I don't know if you had this, Thomas, but I remember they would show us like pictures of like surgeries of like surgeons opening like lungs and all that, and just like bunch of like very fucked up vivid stuff that I remember when I was a kid. I was like, wow, I don't want to be like that. I'm scared. They really scared you to do drugs, and they even talked about other drugs as well, but they were really like, don't smoke, you know. And then I don't know. Did you ever? How was your experience when you had that in school? Did you ever have that, Thomas?
Looking back on it, we did. I don't think it was to that extreme,
Oh.
but like we still had a. Okay. It was still bad, but I don't think it was to that extreme of like, nightmare fuel.
Oh.
But I always remember like it was like a yearly thing that they would do. They would bring somebody down. It would probably be like one person or a group of people, and
Right.
it would be about the dangers of drugs and what they can do. And like they would like read off stories of like, this person, he
Mhm.
tried a drug and it ruined his life and this is how he did it and now he's
Right.
dead. You don't want to be dead now, do you?
Yes. Yes. They would exactly be like that. Like, you want to die? I'm like, damn. Like, I just woke up. I barely had my orange juice. What the hell? Like,
What a lovely thing to be saying at 8 in the morning. What a lovely
no,
thing to
it
be
really
hearing at 8 in the
was.
morning.
It really was. The assembly was early in the morning, and all the kids were like, and like, hello, kids, you want to die? And like, whoa, I just woke up. I think that's why it was super traumatizing. Because it was super early in the morning, or just like, it would also be super gross because I remember like after that we would have our lunch and no kids would be eating after because they were so grossed out. Like, I remember feeling so sick. That was just like, oh man, I don't ever want to do drugs. Drugs are scary. Yeah.
Drugs are bad, no, because like there was like deviations of it, like there was like the scary kind, right?
Mhm.
Um, of like, this is what was having happen if you'll turn to dust if you do a drug. And then there was like other people
Uh huh.
that were just like, hey yo, let me show you something cool, and it was like usually like a yo-yoer or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes, you're
They would
so
just show this
right.
cool, and they'll
It
be like,
was
hey yo, you want to, this yo-yo's cool, but you know what's not cool? Doing drugs. Like,
I feel like we literally saw the same ads, but it was, that's
I
so
mean,
crazy.
I.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it'd be amazing, but amazing the kids are like, hey yo, yeah. He's like, because this yo-yo, you have to pledge of drugs.
Yeah. Would you get a sticker? I feel like I remember they would
No,
give you a
yeah.
sticker, and it would basically be like a symbol. I don't remember. It was like, I think the X or something like that, like a circle, and then cross out the cigar or something, or like cigarette or something like that.
Or something like the stickers like that of like the no smoking signs, or like they would give you like
Yeah.
little
Mhm.
pamphlets or something like that. Like they would always give you
Yes.
something, so like you could have it and like you could like you like I would always go, but oh, hey mom, here's this, and then my mom would look and be just look at that and just be like, cool, son.
Yeah.
Be like, damn.
I also remember that they would even show like big tobacco companies, like the Camel one, right? They would
Yeah.
show Camel of like how he used to be, thought it was so cool to smoke, and then how he is in the hospital and literally doing chemotherapy. I thought that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I think that's crazy. As a kid, I was like, wow, that Camel's so cool. Whoa, hospital scary. Like, clearly, they really wanted to scare kids. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
it scared the heck out of me, dude. I was just like, I don't want to do drugs ever.
It
But
would be like and I feel like they would like entice you with with whatever they were doing. Like, let's go back to the yo-yoing real quick. They would be like, yo, this yo-yo, and then they would stop whatever they're doing. Let me have a serious talk with you. And then it would go straight into nightmare fuel or
yeah.
like and things of that nature. And then and it's like early in the morning and you don't know what you're doing and you have all this information. It's information overload and you still have the rest of your day at school. But at least you have a cool sticker.
Here's this cool sticker that everything will be fine now, which is so crazy. Oh my god. Um, Another
I think.
thing.
Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, basically to end it, like, I remember, I don't know if they're still doing it to now, like, people obviously can comment down below or whatever in the videos, if it's still happening, this, like, truth campaign, or I feel like it was really heavy during the 2000s, all the way up to maybe like 2015. It kind of like stopped. But during that time, 2015 or like maybe 2013, that when they were introducing like e-cigarettes and vaping and all that a little bit more, they were like showing that off. Um, I feel like it is such a like it needs to come back for sure. Like very like the same traumatizing thing that I experienced, everybody needs to experience it now. You know, because you see a whoa, hello? English. Dramatically big drop of like people smoking, right? And then until like maybe like I said around 2015, I feel like all the way up to now, 10 years, like I feel like a lot of like e-cigarettes and vaping are just like very popular. And I think it's crazy that a lot of kids, like high school kids, are like vaping, you know, in their classroom or like in the bathroom and all this other stuff. I don't know. I think for sure the program needs to come back, kind of thing, and maybe shake these kids up, you know? Who knows? Because it obviously worked in the beginning, all the way up to like obviously maybe whenever they stopped doing the campaign. So it was working. So that's just my 2 cents about that. I don't know about you, Thomas, if you think that's even like a thing that they should do or what, but that's just
I
me.
feel like that's the thing that they should do. They should always do it like a yearly thing. Just something like it's like something like the older kids are like, oh, this is just beaten to my skull already, and then the new kids are actually gonna learn something. Um, but yeah, I just I now realize the yo-yo.
Insert picture yo-yoer.
Yeah, I found the picture of like the yo-yos they would give you.
Oh my god. You
I'll
know,
put that.
not just only, okay, going back on it, not just that only that they need to talk about it, about the whole, like drugs and all that, and the cigarettes or whatever, vaping, whatever, but they also need to add, like, I want to say, sex education. I feel like that needs to be back introduced definitely in schools as well. Because if you're already learning about drugs, you might as well start relearning about sex ed, right? Because like a lot of people don't really know about like the common diseases and like all these diseases and all that. Because people think like, I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff. A lot of people, they just need to be educated, and I think it just starts right there. Like, start educating kids once they are on middle school if you want, and just heavily educate them. But I don't know.
Like, they're teaching the wrong things,
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Mm-hmm.
Me 2 cents. Me
I
2
got
cents.
nothing else on it.
Okay. So now we can go to our last segment because it's already like an hour over. So we'll just go ahead and start. Our last segment is Yap City. So, did you have anything to talk about Yap City? About toxic work or anything like that? Any studies?
Okay, so I will go into depth about like, a toxic a toxic job I had before I have the one I have now. But before that, uh my birthday was on Monday. That was cool.
Happy birthday to Thomas! Thomas! Happy
I am now
birthday!
21, which is nice.
Now he's 21. Thomas
But
21.
had a good day, everything like that. Also, I did read one of our chatters things.
Oh, yeah.
We
Go ahead.
need we need gay sex ed. That's why STDs are so much higher in the gay community.
Yes.
That's a very good
That's
thing. Yeah.
very, very true. To
Spit.
be honest, they don't be wearing condoms as well. So it's like, wow. Come on, guys. Start wearing condoms. Or something. Like, let's be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thomas.
But before you get into your story that I know you want to tell, I had a construction job for about 4 months. I was there for about 4 months. Oh, sorry.
I just realized it was still spooky. So let me change it right now before I forget. Hold on 1 second. And you know what? We're doing jazz lo-fis. Okay. You may start.
All right. For about 4 months, I would say 5 or 6 months ago, give or take.
Okay.
I don't know how long I've been working at the job I have now, but this one was the one that was before it. But I was in a sore spot. I just lost my other job. I got fired, and I was just looking for anywhere that could take me, I had a car I needed to pay for. I was at my wit's end. I needed literally anything.
Right.
My mother was just like, "Oh, there's this construction job. I'm decent friends with the person who owns it. You can work there." I said, "Cool, anything, right?" Little did I know I would go through 4 months of hell saying yes to that question. I would have rather struggled to make the payments on the car than what I had to go through. But anyways, I walked in there, trying to learn. I've never done a construction job before. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest. I was just trying to be helpful, and that's what I tried to be. For months, I was just trying to put my 110% into it because I was just like, I need to show them that I can do it so they can teach me things. And that's all I wanted to know. I wanted to learn, at least. It's like, this job, I want to learn. And I was actually excited going into it because I was like, new experience. The people at the job treated me like absolute dirt. Anything that they did would get pawned off to me, and I would always get in trouble for it. They would never teach me anything. So when our boss came over and being like, "Why don't you know this? Why don't you know anything?" And I would tell them the truth of like, "Oh, I've never been taught." They would go to the guys that have been there for so much longer, and they'd be like, "You don't know what he's talking about. He's just dumb." Something that's unfortunate. Being my name is Thomas, my nickname on the job site was Dumbass because funny play on words.
Oh, Thomas.
Yeah, I was just getting absolutely bullied for 4 months. And the thing is like I felt like I said early on in the stream that I couldn't really do anything about it because if I were to do anything or like, God forbid, throw hands, um, I would lose this job that, is paying for a car, I didn't want to lose that. So I stayed for that, I was like, I just have to pay off those bills and I have this and that. I can't lose my job. Also, they did force me to listen to Metallica, which isn't bad, but only
Mm-hmm.
one song. Let's just say dreaded work every single day for 4 months. And it got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I just have to quit. I'll figure out a way. And I put in my 2 weeks. And when those 2 weeks ran, I felt the greatest sense of relief ever.
Right.
And the the town where I live, they're still, prominent. They still do work. I, drive past one of their trucks or two, one of their company trucks every so often. And I flip them off because it's just whatever, but glad I left. But a job could be so great and you could love it so much and you can actually like, you know, enjoy yourself and you want to learn, but it's up to the people you're working with to create that, that nice environment. For me, I would much rather want a job that sucks but people that I love to work with than love what I do working wise but have people who just make it so much worse. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but that's my 2 cents. But I digress.
Not you taking my 2 cents.
I'm taking it back.
No, yeah. I mean, more than anything, you seem like you're happy at your current job for now, obviously.
For now.
For now.
It might
Um,
change.
yeah, that might change, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that you're currently. It's much more better for sure. That I understood, and I'm happy for you. And chat's happy for you. And everyone's happy. So,
You went all stream for this.
huh?
He said you've been waiting all stream for this.
I was waiting all stream about this story, guys. Guys, this. Oh. Okay. So, here's my little story that I can finally talk about that I've been waiting for. Sorry, the buildup is real. So, basically, I can't really talk about too much about it, obviously, but obviously we'll give you the main things. I was at this one site. By the way, I do security and all that. And basically, to sum it up, I was at this one site and I was I was just, by the way, guys, what's even crazier, I was on the phone with Thomas as well because we were just chatting and I think we were like coming up with stuff for like the podcast as well. So there was literally like multitasking, but also, mind you, I was also on lunch during this time as well. So let me go forward. Sorry. I just wanted to give you a little backstory. But basically, I was in my shift and I was in the lobby and I've been basically, one of my jobs is obviously look at the cameras and all that and also do patrols and reports and all that and also buzzing people in my job, right? And only letting certain people have access inside, right? So it was just constant work flow. There was a lot of people that I buzzed in, a lot of people like I was greeting, a lot of people I was talking to, a lot of stuff, and it finally started to die down. And there were still people I was buzzing in, but there were like mostly like food deliveries I was buzzing people in. And I remember I was like, oh, my food got here, you know what, I'm about to have lunch, but you know what, I'm also gonna work because I noticed that it's still kind of like lively. You know, it's not too bad that I can like have my lunch break, obviously, but also like I'm just trying to be nice. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like work and also eat because your girl's hungry. Man, your girl is hungry. And your girl was doing 16 hours back to back. Like crazy hours. Not illegal, by the way, but you know what I mean? So I was just hustling and I was just really hungry. I just remember I just slept and I woke up and I had to hurry up and go to work. And I was just like, man, I'm hungry. I need to eat. So yeah. Anyway, I was setting up whatever. I buzzed this person in, and they're a pizza delivery person. And you know, the person, good vibes. You know, very nice person. They were like, "Hey, I'm here to drop off the food, right?" I was like, "Yeah, you can leave it right there on that table, blah blah blah." And the people will come down and pick it up, you know, because they're not allowed to go up the elevator, blah blah blah, right? And basically, the pizza guy is very sweet, you know. He's like, "Oh man, did you see that storm that happened?" And I was like cracking up because I was like, "Oh man, I wish I was like dead asleep." And he was like, "Oh, that must have been nice. Like, it was crazy." That was just like small talk. It was cute small talk. But also, like, I saw him, like, "Yeah, I'm about to, like, I was asleep. I'm about to, like, eat now because, like, you know, I'm starting my shift again, blah, blah, blah." We're just casual talking, like I said. And the guy's like, "Yeah, like, I'm dropping off this food. Like, I guess it's a regular. I guess he drops off regularly." Which I was like, "Okay, who's ordering this food?" You know what I mean? And there's this one guy that finally comes up. I guess he was laughing, trying to join our conversation, like insert himself in, right? And uh this guy, we'll call him B word. So B word B word was, or I guess we can say B boy, or I don't know. What should we call him, Thomas?
Uh, call him a bitch.
No, because we hear me bleeping out most of
Oh,
the
my
time.
bad. Oh yeah. Okay. B-boy then.
Okay, so B boy, right? So B boy, it's his food, right? And mind you, let me give you a back history of B boy. So B boy has a history of, I guess you can say, maybe like domestic violence, assaulting, um, let's see, I don't know, just a lot of crazy background things about this person, right? But I do know that this person for sure has a history of hitting women, right? Unfortunately. And the police were basically, I know this because the police one day was looking for him, this and that, and like stuff happened, right? To sum it up, I don't know how much detail I can really talk about, but basically, police were looking for him. He got upset that the police were looking for him, but I couldn't really do anything about it, you know, because it's the motherfucking police. Like, what the fuck? And the police are allowed to be in the lobby because it is public to the people. So the police are free to investigate whatever in the first lobby, right? In the first level. But they're not allowed really to go up the elevator without permission from the landlord or a warrant, basically. Or who knows, right? I don't know. That's just whatever. So I remember the police were looking for him, a lot of stuff, whatever. I don't know. So basically, the guy, going back to the story, the guy, he ends up like, he ends up getting his pizza right or whatever, trying to like join the conversation of me and the pizza guy we're having, laughing. And I was just like telling the pizza guy, "Oh, have a good night." And I was looking at the guy and I was like, oh, you also have a good night, right? That's like literally the only thing I said to that guy. Have a good night. And this guy ends up like flipping out on me. Like, I don't know what the heck is wrong with this guy. I don't know if he has bipolar or like what's going on with this guy, but this guy ends up like flipping on me. Like, he ends up being like, oh, by the way, like, first it was kind of like settled a little bit. It was like the guy was like, oh yeah, like haha, like yeah, like he didn't want to say have a good night right back to me, which is like fine, like I don't care, like don't then, I guess. But he was just like, hey, by the way, um you're the reason why I'm leaving these apartments, right? So he starts like saying like shitty comments or whatever, like whatever, and I was just like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, like that sucks, you know. Like, I didn't really give a fuck. Like, to me, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I really don't give a fuck. I'm like, okay, like, who the fuck are you? You know, like, what the fuck? And then he starts, like, saying, like, yeah, it's all your fault. And I was like, me trying not to, like, laugh at this guy, like, you know, but, like, me trying to be professional at the same time. But I was just, like, basically, like, oh, that sucks, you know? Like, I was like, womp womp, you know? But this guy, he starts being like, yeah, so what's your name? He wanted to get my name, right? And I was like, I'm not telling you my name. So this guy, he ends up like running up to me, getting into my fucking face. And he's like, I need to know your name. Well, I forgot what he says. Like, he starts saying like a lot of shit, but basically saying like getting in my face. And he's like, I need to know your name and like where you work and blah blah blah. I'm like, bitch, like I'm working right now, what the fuck are you talking about, like what? And he's like, I'm gonna get you fired, right? He starts like threatening me and getting in my face, and I started like backing up because like I said, he has a history of hitting women and I'm ready to square up. And basically I keep backing up. He starts like taking pictures of me and starts continuing like getting in my face, and I keep backing up and everything, and I tell him like, I'm not telling you shit, you need to like basically fuck off, basically, and if you're not going to, like, I have to call the police, you know. And basically he finally backed up because I stood up because I was like done with his shit, and that's when he started being a pussy and he like backed up and everything and like started leaving and all this other stuff. And then I was like, okay, like, fine, whatever, pussy. And and then he starts, once he was like starting to leave, he called me a fat piece of shit, right? Because I was like trying to eat, by the way, guys, if you remember, I was eating my lunch. He was like, yeah, maybe you should start losing weight, basically, like, also like fat shaming me and all this other stuff, which is pretty fucking ironic because he's holding his pizza. I'm like, how are you saying that when you're holding pizza? Like, what the fuck? How are you calling me a fat piece of shit when you also are a fucking fat piece of shit that you're about to eat? Like, what the fuck? This shit don't make sense. And I was just like, it made me fucking mad. So I said, because I started fucking like I said, I was up, right? So I was like, hell no. Like, I basically started walking towards him, right? Because, like, fuck this bitch, right? So I ended up saying, like, how about you stop being a bitch boy? Like, I stopped saying that to him.
Boy, yeah.
Stop being a little bitch boy. And his face when I said that was just like, like so upset, so mad, but he was just running off because, like, I guess he wasn't ready that I was gonna clap back or whatever. And yeah, so basically, like, to make him even worse, I was like, yeah, it's like, stop crying, wham 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 or whatever. And he's just like, he was just like saying, like, he kept like trying to whatever, like, fat shame me or whatever, some shit like that, because apparently I can't fucking eat during my lunch or something, or that's just fat shaming me, I don't know. But yeah, basically that's what happened. I did report it to the police. It went to the point that, like, unfortunately, I felt like my safety there at work was um compromised because I was alone. It was literally just me and the guy. And like I said, he has a history of hitting women. It could have got physical really quick because I don't back down at all. Like, I really don't take shit from people. So, to me, I was ready for it to get physical. And it's just really unfortunate that, like, it was just literally me and this guy. And to be honest, it was like, to me, it was just like fight for flight kind of thing, situation. So I had to like prepare myself. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It just reminds me of like a Chihuahua, all bark, no bite kind of thing. So he just ended up backing off or whatever. But like I said, like I felt like my safety was really compromised because, quotations, this man is a very rich person, so he has lots of lawyers and this and that. And I just felt like I needed to go for my safety until he leaves, his contract ends there, right? So to sum it up, I am now working at a different place and I'm more happy there and they treat me really well. And I heard news that like he's actually leaving, breaking his lease or whatever, and he's probably leaving like I think next week or something like that. And I did talk to like my clients and all that. I told them that I was willing to come back once he's gone. But since then, like if he's not gone, I'm not coming back. Like fuck that. I'm sorry. I'm not coming back. And they respect that and they understood that. And honestly, I was just gonna press charges, but I decided not to. I just decided not to press charges. I decided just like suck it up and just go somewhere else instead and not really deal with it. But I do have a like police report and everything about this guy, so just saying. But yeah, that's really the whole story. I don't know how Thomas was feeling on his side of it. He really couldn't believe that person was talking to me like that. Like he was just like really pissed off, Thomas.
No,
He was
I could say a whole bunch of things about that poor soul, but I will not on this stream because this stream needs to still be a stream. But what I will say is that I didn't really get to hear a lot till the very end. Like I was only hearing what you were saying, not necessarily what the Mr. B was saying.
Yes, Mr. B.
Until the very end, and then I heard Mr. B calling you a fat piece of shit, and
Which is crazy because I was like, bro, I was on my lunch, and he was like fat shaming me that I was eating in my lunch, even though he had his own food. And I was like, yo, and you know what's even funnier, Thomas? He ordered more food because he was holding, basically he had 2 pizza boxes of Domino's, guys, okay? And then he ordered more food and it was McDonald's. And I was like, who fucking ordered McDonald's? And I saw it was him, his name and all that. But he never came downstairs to pick up the food because me and him fought, basically. So he's being a little B word for not coming downstairs to pick up his food. Which I was like, that's fine. Give it to the homeless.
But, I mean, they probably live alone. 2 pizzas to 1 person is crazy work.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But he was heavily intoxicated, by the way. Because he did smell like, obviously, strong alcohol.
No excuses, though.
Yeah, but, I digress. Yeah, but yeah, that was the short story. Obviously, take it as you will, you guys. That's why I say, like, don't take shit from no one. And, like, defend yourself when you really need to. Or just, like, end up finding something else, like, or quit if you have that opportunity. Do that.
Mhm.
And that's just me. What about you, Thomas?
The moral of this story, if just like if you feel any certain way about your job, the thing is a job should at least be comfortable to work in, or like you're okay working here. It might not be the glamorous job, not everybody's job is glamorous, but if you enjoy working there and enjoy the people you're working with, they'll be just fine. But if one of those things are, with your instance, you like the people you work with, but the environment was bad. Me,
Mm-hmm.
my environment was good, but my people were bad. It's the two different flips,
Right.
But we both left, for similar reasons. We didn't feel like, safe in where we were at, I didn't know if the next blow up of the people that I was working with were gonna end up in a fist fight, or them because they were a lot bigger. I would definitely pull up a fight, but my ass would have gotten kicked. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because one, all of them were so much older than me, bigger. They've been doing this job for ages, and me, starting out, I stood no chance. But if you aren't feeling okay at your job, you don't have to feel fantastic. Like every day is just sunshines and rainbows. But if you go to work, at least this job sucks, but I like the people and the environment's not too bad. That's where you'll feel a sense of comfortability at your job. You know what I'm saying? While you're looking for something different, something you actually want to do. And then at the time that if you find something that you want to do and that that environment isn't okay or the people aren't okay, you can find a different job in that same field and just keep going until you find that sweet spot between people you like to work with and an environment you like to work in. Because those two things, if you have both of them, are key to just staying at a job for a very long time. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm taking back your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents. But
I'm
I
just gonna put two,
digress.
I'm gonna put 2 cents on the table.
My 2 cents.
But my 2 cents. But yeah, that's it for this one, right?
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I feel that's crazy that we did not take any breaks, by the way. We literally just went right through. But that's totally fine. I don't mind that. Let me go ahead.
Wait a minute before you stop saying.
I was gonna start doing the ending session.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the ending session. Okay. What?
Before you end stream, just make sure if anyone has a story they would like to add. We're still trying to do Hot Mess Hotline, so if you guys want to do that and want to submit things, just join the Discord, whatnot, and yeah, we are more than happy to let you in, hear about your story, because we're nosy people. We like to know everything.
That is very true. I'm very nosy, and I'm proud of it.
Same here.
But yeah, thank you, Thomas. So I forgot about that. I was just like, okay, I'm done with my work. Clock out. That's all I was thinking. But no, thank you for you guys for watching. But yeah, of course, if you guys have any stories you guys want to talk about, or if you guys want to join in a Discord call with us and you talk about your story, we're willing to listen. We're so nosy.
You'll even I'll figure this out, but I think if once we get our first person, you'll have your own little guy.
Oh yes.
You'll be an animal with us. I don't know which one, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, if you guys end up joining us, you guys will have your own little animal. So it would be really cute. We haven't decided which animal yet, or maybe you guys can decide on your own. You can tell us. We'll definitely go ahead, work with you guys with that, which is really cute. I cannot wait. But yeah, thanks for you guys for watching. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye. Hang up the phone now. Hang up.